please.
Damn
And
fun story, right?
it was such an awesome story.
I was just sharing the story with Michelle how so our core program that we do at One of Many is called Lead the Change, and what I encourage the ladies who do this 12-month leadership program with us to do is take on a bit of a social justice community service kind of project. And even though a lot of women want to focus on their business because that's where they want to get their leadership, I always say, no, 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 I want you to take on something more. And by the way, they're all far too busy to take on more, far, far too busy to take on more. They're all overwhelmed. That was what got them in the room with me in the first place, right? But my whole philosophy is that when you shift into your soft power, you can actually get far more done far easier by shifting where you're coming from in the world. And one of the archetypes that is fundamental to making this shift that we teach is the queen archetype. And we share with our ladies who she is and how to utilize her in your life and how to come from your queen and so on. And Almira Ross is one of the ladies who's in our batch one of our Lead the Change group. And she has been working hard on her business for a number of years. She's been a client of mine on and off for a long time. But when we talked about the queen archetype, she just was like, whoa, I never do queen. And when I talk about queen, it's an archetype. We understand what she is. She's serene and graceful, commanding, strong. She can hold the space for a vision, and people will lay down their lives for the queen, right? So Almira had this idea to create this community service project, and when we heard it, we all went, yes, you've got to do that. So she has a community allotment in her local area of Harrow in London where she lives, and she and her husband had been gardening this little allotment for a number of years, now about to give up the rent on it. But she thought, oh my goodness, I could turn my allotment into a community food forest for women from the local Harrow Women's Centre. These are women who've been through domestic abuse and things like that, and they could come and they could plant and they could harvest and they could get their hands dirty and connect with each other and get connected back to nature. So she goes to the Women's Centre and says, I've got this vision for this community food forest on my allotment for the women here, and what do you think? And everyone at the Women's Centre said, oh yes, please, what do you need, right? And she's like, well, we could do this, we could do this. And they started serving the vision. And then Almira went to the council and said, I've got this idea for my allotment. Would this be okay? And they said, oh my God, that's amazing. What do you need? Stop paying for your allotment. We won't charge you for it anymore. By the way, would you like the one next door as well?
What else can we help you with?
I know, it's amazing, right? Exactly. Everyone is like, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? So here is Almira, who's on purpose. She's got this amazing project, and everywhere she goes, she just speaks her vision, and everyone says, what do you need? That's the queen archetype at play. And so now she's able to bring that into her business.
She wouldn't have got that result and had all these resources if she focused on her business instead of focusing on the community project. I mean, it's amazing when you're doing something that's making a difference, that's having an impact, how everything shows up that you need. That's such a cool story.
Totally. And that's the key, right? You focus on your business and you get tied up in all of your stuff about your self-worth and everything. But where you can learn all these reference experiences through something which is more powerful than yourself, and that's the more inspiring to you than your business ever could be, then it's makes it so much easier to move forward. It's amazing. I'm just so inspired by her and all of the women who are doing equally amazing things in our community. And they're all far too busy to be doing things like this, of course, but it's amazing when you step into that energy how much more you can get done.
So look, I know we're going over time, but in all fairness to what's happened today and all the mess ups, there's questions still coming in.
I'm ready to do this for the rest of the day, whatever we need.
Okay, well that's good. Okay, let's carry on for the rest of the day. We've got questions coming in, which I want to make sure that we get to those. Sure. So I got a first question here for you from Lindsay, and she's saying, hi Joe, I'm a star profile like you. How did you get around that fear or feeling that everyone in the audience might not agree with you on your subject matter?
Oh, they don't. Yeah, so the first thing is to acknowledge the fact that they don't. And oh my God, needing to be liked is huge for me. Like it is probably my Achilles heel, is I really do need people to like me. And when they don't, if they disagree with me, it means they don't like me. And of course it doesn't, but that's what I make up. So I don't know that I've ever got over the fear of it necessarily. There's this thing of, oh God, what if someone doesn't like what I say? But because I'm so connected now to my purpose and my vision around it, and I really do have this, it's like a cellular belief in why I'm doing. I won't even say what I'm doing. God knows what I'm doing. I'm trying my best, but why I'm doing it. That if someone disagrees with me, I'm willing to have the conversation. I'm getting better at being disagreed with. And then what I will always do after those moments happen, because the little girl inside me always goes, oh, they don't like me. I'll then go away and I will do, it's just really good self-care. You know, I will go and nurture and nourish myself, whether that be with a bath or a massage, or I say to my husband, Greg, I just need you to tell me that I'm doing good stuff, that this does make sense. My team will say, you know, my team know to make light of things. I have people around me who help me, and I nurture and nourish my energy, because one of our first principles at One of Many is our first principle is replenish your energy. Most problems are not a problem of whatever was going on, it's a problem of lack of energy to deal with it. So that's where I start. So yeah, probably doesn't quite answer the question, but it's how I manage it.
I think that's cool. I think it's a challenge for star profiles as well, because they tend to be more opinionated and more outspoken and put themselves in a place where they will be on stage and share. Then people can either love them or hate them. Like, you know, you see that with like the likes of Arnold Schwarzenegger and stars in the public in public roles, that does happen, where, you know, there's a kind of and you can't please all the people all the time. So you have to really do what's important to you and what you feel is an important message, and know that those that want to be part of that message are going to follow you. But you're certainly going to get those who disagree, and the more you put yourself out there, the bigger your business grows, the bigger your profile grows, the more people want to disagree with you. It's the way it's going to be, you know. As you move up through the wealth spectrum, that's going to happen as well. So Diane has asked, could you give some more explanation as to what soft power means? The bit we were talking about earlier on, we were talking about being
Yeah, sure. So if we look out at the business world, or even the world in general, because it's all there, and we think of this concept of power, it often conjures up what I would refer to as masculine power, of kind of pushing through, getting things done, being the strongest, the one that's not going to back down. So for us, when we talk about soft power, I'm actually talking about femininity. But when I say femininity, most people think weak, and it isn't. If you speak to anyone who is familiar with any kind of martial arts, they'll tell you that if your opponent attacks you, the strongest defense is to move with the power of the attack and then channel that back in. So it's actually to give way, to allow. And so for us, soft power is very much, the soft side of it is about being gentle, agreeable, calm, all things that we would associate with that kind of feminine energy, allowing, vulnerable, but marrying it with power, which the old English of the word power is to be able. It's not about dominion over, it's about to be able. So how do we be able to do whatever it is we want to do in the world, but in a way which is centered in our feminine energy? And I believe that if we as women can start to trust our feminine energy and its strength and its ability to actually get results through and with others generally, then men will start to trust that energy in ourselves as well. And that's where we'll start to see the paradigm shift, because until we trust it, we can't expect anybody else to trust that could be a way forward for humanity. So that's, yeah. Does that answer that question?
Yeah, good question, Diane. Well done. All right, awesome. Well, look, Jo, I want to say thank you so much for today. First of all, with all the changes of times that we put in place, and then with whatever freaky thing happened. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was the airplane flying over. I don't know, and that we disappeared, and we were having such a great chat. Thank you so much for, as always, just being so generous with your time and with your sharing. I think that's one thing that all your clients say about you, is just how generous you are with what you share, and I certainly experienced that as well. I can't wait to see you at Fast Forward Your Business in a few weeks' time and hear you speaking. What would you like to leave everyone with as your final golden nugget today?
Probably just to take us back to where we began, and that is just to really get that purpose and your big thing doesn't necessarily happen as a bang. It happens from momentum. It happens from being in motion. So it's like you can't, if you're wanting to see the horizon and there's a big hill in front of you, you can't see the horizon until you start to climb up the hill. So just start climbing and listen to that little voice inside that says, what would happen if I did this? And that's the one to listen to, because that little calling is in there, because it might not be the trumpets, but it's the little kind of, it's the overture. And if you listen to that, it'll get you on the right path.
Beautiful. Oh, Jo, thank you so much. Big hugs. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here with us, and thank you to everyone who poked up with the time zone changes and the issues and are still here listening. I hope you all have an awesome day, and I hope to see many of you in a couple of weeks in London as well. So ciao everyone. Bye for now.
Bye. Can't wait to see you.
Bye.